that does stuff that's really worthwhile in the community. Richard Nuttall is from Shropshire Youth Support Trust and wants to talk through their plans for the summer and beyond. Richard, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I would imagine you've had as stressful an 18 months as everybody else. Are you seeing, or are you in the light at the end of the tunnel yet?
I feel like we're almost there.
Good.
yeah. It's been a hell of a journey, but we're almost there with it.
Well, when you organise youth services, I guess, these are, the whole point of them is to bring young people together and get them doing stuff that's sort of productive rather than destructive, and your very point of existence was taken away from you.
It absolutely was. At the very beginning, we were very much engaging with young people, ages going to schools all the way up to the age of mid-20s up to the age of 30 even, and then we hit this wall where that's it. Sorry, no. For obvious reasons. So we hit a massive wall on that, massive barrier.
That's quite a range of people. Just that age range encompasses thousands, if not tens of thousands of people in the county. How many people do you kind of stay in contact with?
Well, we're quite specific to a point in who we support. We provide support services to young people, and we tend to work with young people who people describe as coming from a disadvantaged background, who've got barriers to employment. Some of those barriers are very, 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 very broad indeed. So we work with those. So the number of young people we specifically work with is obviously smaller than the full population locally. However, we're working with, in the last few years, we've worked with at least 2,000 to 3,000 individuals in total. And from that, we've helped that's just giving various different bits of advice. But our main support services is all about helping those young people to find something that they can aspire to be, that they want to do, that they can motivate themselves and feel build self-esteem and confidence. And we use that by actually providing business startup and self-employment support. So it was but it's all about building those aspirations, and we've actually helped probably about 260 people create a job.
Oh wow! I mean, that's really tangible, isn't it? That must be hugely rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. And we're talking about, like I said, the young people who have got barriers. We've got young people who struggle very badly with mental health. I mean, this is prior to the pandemic, and it's even exacerbated more so because of it. But we've seen people who wouldn't leave their house due to severe anxiety, for example, and because we focused in on something that they're passionate about. I've then seen them 12 to 18 months later, where they're almost they're telling people about what they do and trying to provide the services. And it's seeing that personal journey in individuals, it's very rewarding indeed.
Somebody who is still at school, for instance, faces very different barriers to somebody who, I don't know, is 28 and just needs practical advice, to turn their idea into a reality. What sort of, how varied are the services and the things that you offer?
Very varied, and we've actually tailor-made them to an individual, because everyone is individual and their needs are different. So we provide quite intensive one-to-one mentoring support, either direct from our team, or we've got a fantastic pool of volunteer mentors as well. We also provide group workshops, both online and face-to-face when we've been able to. And in terms of business startup, all that business startup support, self-employment support, we've got an absolute wealth of information, templates, guides. We help promote them locally and further afield if needs be. We get them in the networks, and we very much promote very much peer-to-peer support. That's a very important thing. So then they're engaging with these people around them, which is very, very key.
Talk me through some of the success stories. What sort of businesses have you seen come out of this?
Well, we've had quite a number of successes. Like, for example, one example I took earlier, a young person's personal journey, and they started to generate an income for themselves, which is absolutely fantastic. We've had a business in the food industry who actually reported probably close to £100,000 profit in their first year.
That's not bad.
Obviously, since this pandemic, though, it's been a bit more slow going.
Yeah.
So we've got people working towards. We've got various people looking at various different types of business setups. We've got a fantastic young person who is. We're trying to coach them in terms of becoming a voiceover actor and how to go about that. We've got people doing again other types of food businesses. People want to try and get back into sort of like beauty and things like that as well. So we're quite very varied. Very keeps us on our toes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and that I guess is part of the joy. But what are the most common barriers that you encounter that people face? I suspect two of the obvious ones are one, confidence, because if you're from a disadvantaged background, and I kind of went to a state school in Telford, and not many people were launching their own businesses, straight out of school. But also, you don't necessarily have the networks that you need when you're not surrounded by people who are doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yes, the barriers are quite varied. Definitely confidence, self-belief, and self-esteem for most, and various different aspects of mental health, like mentioned before, like severe anxiety, depression, and more so other things as well. So we've got people who are on the autistic spectrum. And I think that's quite broad in itself. But we also work with people who've gone through the criminal justice system, youth justice system. Young people who are lone parents, experience of alcohol or substance abuse, and there's various others as well. And in a lot of cases, they have multiple of these barriers.
For some of these people, you must be one of the first sets of people who has taken them seriously and taken their ambitions seriously.
Yes.
Which is quite, that's a massive life-changing influence on somebody.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When you meet people for the first time, and then they get to the stage where they're ready to launch something, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
How much growth do you see in the person? Because this isn't just about kind of creating a business, is it? This is about changing their outlook on life, I guess, in a lot of ways.
It is, and it's changing their outlook on themselves as well.
Yeah.
That inward reflection of themselves as a person, that they can believe in themselves enough to want to actually attempt something, to try something, to put themselves out there, where it's absolutely terrifying. And that's how that's a major step in their own personal growth and development.
How important, you mentioned sort of the peer-to-peer stuff, how important is creating a culture amongst a group of young people that is both encouraging, but also you tend to listen more to a bit of a kick up the backside from somebody who is in a similar position to you than maybe you would from somebody who it's easy to dismiss as having kind of been there and done it.
Yes, no, absolutely. I give a personal example now. I've been in a room full of young people, and I've been talking to them and offering support and guidance, and then I purposely brought in a young person, as much as I like to think I'm young, I'm not. I brought a young person in with us who's going through it at that moment in time, what we call an assisted business, and you can definitely see straight away they automatically switch on more. And they're more tuned in to what that young person's saying. And you're absolutely right, it's because of that they can connect to them easier, and because that person's going through it, as opposed to someone who's just, they feel probably is just talking at them, if you know what I mean. Absolutely, it's really key, and it's one of the reasons why we're currently at the moment trying to recruit for our own youth board or youth committee.
Okay.
Because we want to ensure that we're capturing the voice. We want them to help guide us further going forward to make sure that we're doing everything we should be for them as much as we possibly can.
So I guess that's one of the answers to my next question, which was going to be, what have you got planned for the summer? How are you trying to kind of, I don't know, burst out of lockdown rather than, you know, kind of sort of limp out of it?
Well, we are. That's one very key aspect of it. We're very much trying to recruit that at the moment, and that's a process that's happening at the moment in time. We're also currently rebuilding partnerships and collaboration with other really key and really fantastic organisations locally, other charities, local authorities, etc. And those various departments who are already engaging with these young people. We're working with them, for example, some of those various barriers that I mentioned. And then we are also look at ways of how we can put a lot together, and we're actually trying to find ways of trying to obtain support to various different projects so we can continue supporting these young people. One of which is actually we're about to launch a campaign to ask the local business community. I mean, the county of Shropshire's got a fantastic business community, all businesses of all various sizes. So we're going to launch a campaign to ask for various different types of support that's very much needed. So we are looking for provision of mentors to support our young people who really provide support on a one-to-one basis where they could be assigned to a young person. We're looking for business coaches who can deliver some of those workshops and business clinics on various different topics. We're also doing a lot of well-being and mindset as well at the moment, which is very, very, very helpful at the moment, and we're going to continue that going forward. We're also the usual thing, looking for ways of funding as well. But we're also at the moment, because of the impact of the pandemic, we've found ourselves in a bit of a precarious position in terms of premises.
Okay.
So we had to vacate some premises fairly recently.
And you offer things like subsidised studios and workshops and things, don't you? The spaces are important.
Yeah, we absolutely did, and it was great for that peer-to-peer community, and we were absolutely thriving prior to, and we want to try and get back to it again. So we're currently looking for premises where we could have. At one point, we had 17 different studios or rooms just for the young people to operate it, and then we had additional workshop room, training room, mentoring room, etc. So we're looking for that at the moment in time. So fingers crossed we can find something soon.
So if people think either they can help financially or in kind, even just somebody who wants to be a mentor, or a young person is listening and thinks, do you know what, I might qualify for that sort of help, how do they get in touch with you? How's best?
Best methods, email, which is hello@sysbusiness.co.uk, or they can contact us via social media, which is @sysbusiness on all the main ones are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and LinkedIn.
Richard, really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much.
That's Richard Nuttall from Shropshire Youth Support Trust, or SIST with a Y. And they've got a great website, and as Richard says, you can get hold of them on social media as well. If you're a young person with a business idea, you need a bit of help to get going, or maybe you're somebody who works in business and wants to pay some of the help you've received forward, or wants to offer some premises or something, do get involved.